Good morning, everyone. Hello, welcome back. And today we are going to discuss about the class templates. Okay, what is the class templates? Previously, we have seen the function templates. Similarly, we have class templates. Like function templates, we are having the class templates. Okay, and these class templates are used for different data types. Okay, a function with a different data types. So you can also define it in this way, like sometimes you need a class implementation that is same for all classes, only the data types are used, whatever the data types are used are different. Okay, so normally you would need to create different classes for each data type or create different member variables and functions. Okay, so what it will make, so whenever you are creating each data type for each class, each different class, it is making your program very hard to maintain. Okay, so for this, to make it easy and to make it reuse, the class templates have been introduced. So these class templates make it easy to reuse the same code for all the data types. Okay, so for this we have um, declaration of the class template. How we will going to declare the class template, that we are going to see now. Okay, we will see here. Yeah. First we are going to write a template. Template is a keyword. Okay, what is a template? Template is a keyword. And this is followed by angular braces. Class is again a keyword and class type. Then you have to close this angular braces. Then again a class with a class name. Okay, followed by followed by the parameters. Okay, or else you can write like this. Yeah, this would be your syntax. So what is this? This is the syntax for your class templates. Okay, and here already I have said this template is a keyword. Yeah, what is this? This template is a keyword. Okay, and this class is also a keyword. We will say class is a keyword for taking the data type, for This is the type. Like in this type we can write whatever the name it may be, xyz abc, whatever the name you want to take, the class name, that you can write here. Okay, and which is also a placeholder, which is also a placeholder. Okay, placeholder is nothing but it will replace with a data type. It will replace with a data type. Okay, so I would like to explain it with the class, stack class. Stack class is a data structure. Okay, how it would be. So firstly, think this is a stack data structure. Stack stack data structure. Okay, this is a stack data structure which will be having last in first out. Okay, which is having last in first out, like it is having only one open end. So this is one only open end. So whenever you are inserting any values inside it, like 10, 20, 30, like this. So when you want to take out the number, when you want to end the number, like take out the number, then the number which is at the last, like 30 would be going to come out first, later on 20 would be going come out, and then 10. Okay, so when we are going to insert the values inside it, then that operation is known as a push. That operation is known as push, and the value which is going to taken out, when we are taking out the value, then it is a pop operation. Okay, so till here you have understood, I think. Stack is a data structure. The structure of a stack is like this, a container type. So when we are going to insert the values inside the stack is push operation, and when values we are taking out from the stack data structure is the pop operation. So it is like last in first out operation. Okay, and we also previously discussed that templates with class is to make a member function common for different data types. So member function. So here what is the class we are having? We are having the class stack. Stack is a class we are having, and for this class we are going to have a data members. What are the data members we can take? The memory allocation, memory allocating memory for these values like 30, 20 and 10. Let me clear all this. Okay, so Okay, so this is the stack. um, this is the stack uh, structure, and in this stack structure you are going to place the values, and these for placing these values or for inserting these values we need to have a memory space. First, what we need to have the memory space. Dynamically allocating memory. Dynamically allocating memory in the sense when the memory is allocated at the runtime. Okay, so by this we cannot lose, we cannot run out of a memory when we are going to allocate through a runtime. When we are allocating the memory through runtime, that is known as dynamic memory allocation. So when we are going with the dynamic memory allocation, we cannot have any memory run out memory. Okay, so first we need to have a memory, like we can take it as a array list. Array list is one of the data member. Okay, and next is size of the stack. So how much the size of the stack will be? Okay, so firstly you took the 30 20 10, but if you want to take more numbers, then for that we need to give the size, right? So for that we are having size of the stack. And finally the address, we can say it as an address, like index values. Like always the index values will start out with a 0 and 1 2, like this. Okay, so for to allocate this values inside the stack we need to have the address. So for that we will take a data member name as a top. We can take the data member name as a top. So for this I would like to share you the example. Let's see what. Okay, so here this is the program I would like to show you. So firstly I have created the class name with the stack, and this stack is having the data members. What are the data members it is having? Array, like the address of the array, like just we have discussed. So the stack is having 10, 20, 30. So where it has going to store the memory, memory we are going to take here. And the next one is the size. For the size, how many values we need to enter, how many, that is the size. And top is nothing but the every per a particular value will having the particular identity. Like example, I said index value. When we are going to take the index value, for every particular value is going their identity. Zero, index zero is nothing but which is having allocated with some value, right? So the data members have to, and public, in a public access specifier, I'm taking the stack constructor. This is the constructor. And then I'm taking the push and pop function. Why push and pop function? Just now I said last in first out. Whenever the value is entering into the stack, then it is a push operation, and whenever it is coming out, then it is a pop operation. So when it is push, if it is empty container, when it is empty container, when the value is entering, so before entering the value it is empty container. So that is the reason I took a void as a return type. And int, why I took int inside the parameters is after entering into the container, it becomes some space is filled. So for that reason I took int. And then again int pop. So already what the pop function will do, it will remove the elements from the stack. So already the elements which are present inside the container, so that is we are giving removing. So for that I took int. And bool is full, bool is empty. It will return true or false statements. When the stack is full, it will return true. When the stack is empty, it will return true. So to give a true or false values, we took bool function. It gives the boolean values like true or false. And is full and is empty is a function. Here stack is a class which is followed by the stack constructor. Okay. And then I'm going to give the size is equal to 5. And array is equal to new int size. Yeah, fine. Next, top is equal to, just see here, -1. Why I am giving top is equal to -1? It is just previously have said that before entering the, so what would be the, we are giving index values for every value starting from, the index value starts with 0. When it is pushing the element, before pushing the element, before an element is entered, the stack is empty. It means there is nothing, -1. That is the reason I took -1 here. Okay, I hope you understood. And next, again I am taking void stack. Sorry. So why I took this? So push function I took here. Already push function is void, and for the class, which class? Stack class, and I took push function. Okay, push int data. Okay, and inside this, yeah, then again I took again the int stack function I took with a pop function. The pop is having nothing, right? Yeah. See here. Yeah, see here. Just I took a stack constructor and the size of the stack is 5, and array new int, like whenever we are going to enter, it is going to have a value for everything. Okay, array like 0 1 index values. Okay, and top is equal to -1. Top, why here I kept a top is equal to -1 means, just I'll show you now. Yeah, see here, when this is a stack example and you took 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, like this your stack is with the values. So for first number I took the index value of 0, and for the second number it is 1, and it is 2, and it is 3, here it is 4. So how many values does I have? I have totally 5 values, but the value of index at the top is 4, which is -1. Total -1, what the value we are getting? 4. So for this reason I took -1, top is equal to -1 in my program. Okay. Okay, so that is the reason I took -1. And for push operation, plus plus stop. Why I took plus plus stop? Push means at the starting, push means in an empty container you are going to enter the values, so it is empty. Empty means it is going to increment your value 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, like that you are going to increment. So that is the reason I took plus plus. And pop is nothing but taking out, so that is the reason I took here minus minus. is full. Is full means size is, what is the size? 5 and minus 1, 4. So when your index value is 4, your stack is going to fill totally. That is the logic here. And next is empty. So why I took minus 1, return is equal to minus 1 is empty. So after taking out all the values, your stack is empty. Empty is nothing but minus 1. Okay. And now I am going to write my main function. Stack S1. Here I am creating the object stack S1, and with that S1 object itself only, I am going to have push the value of 10. Say, okay. Yeah, I'm going to change the values. Okay. And then I'm going to write my output here. Like I'm going to print a statement s1 dot pop, and then done. Then again, similarly, I'll write same. And return 0. Okay. So now I'm going to save this. And compile it. So what I got an error. So I have corrected all the errors. See here, include firstly I took the data members, and then push operation, pop operation, is full and is empty operations. After operations is nothing but the functions. These are the functions I have took, and I have gave every function a logic. Just now I explained everything. before compiling this program. Then I'm going to execute now, like compile, 0 errors, and I'm going to run. See, 40, 30, 20, 10. So first you're filling what is the value I gave here. First I gave the value of 10, 20, 30, 40. The values I have given for 10, 20, 30. In the same way it should be, because here I have gave the values 10, 20, 30, 40, and what I asked the pop operation to do. Pop operation is nothing but which is popping out, last in first out, just now I said. So last what it is in, last is 40. So first it is taking out the 40 value, 30 value, 20 value, 10 value. This is how the pop operation will take place. Okay, and I hope you have understood very well. Thank you.